You know, when adults meet for the first time, there is this exhausting dance of pleasantries. We talk about the weather, we nod politely, we really try not to step on any toes.
Right, yeah, we are constantly buffering our interactions with all this social padding.
Exactly. But if you drop two 5-year-olds in a sandbox, they just skip all of that entirely. So welcome to this deep dive. Today, we are exploring the fascinating, unfiltered world of children's conversations.
Yes, and by looking at real linguistic transcripts, classroom observations, and even the absolute latest Gen Alpha slang, we are going to simulate and decode how kids actually talk to each other.
And to understand that modern kid slang, we really have to look at their foundational communication style first, which is just incredibly direct.
Oh, absolutely. The best place to start is the Child's Age database. It is this massive global repository that linguists use to study early language acquisition. And the raw transcripts there, I mean, they are wild.
Yeah, I was reading through some of these transcripts of 5-year-olds. There is this one boy named Reed who is literally negotiating a marriage with a friend, and his terms are absolute.
Wait, what were his terms?
Okay, so he says she can have access to his hot tub, but only if she brings M&Ms.
Wow, just a purely transactional boundary right there.
Totally. And then in another one, there is a dispute over blue dishes in a play kitchen. One kid bluntly says, "I hate you." The other fires right back, "I hate you too."
And then they just move on, right?
Yes. Without missing a single beat, they both pivot to a third child sitting nearby and announce, "I will play with you instead." It is less like a play date and more like a hostile corporate boardroom merger.
Yeah, there is no HR department in the sandbox.
I mean, zero pleasantries, just an immediate declaration of terms, a swift severing of ties, and an instant pivot to a new vendor.
But you know that "I hate you" isn't actually a permanent severance. It just functions as immediate, unvarnished emotional feedback. They resolve the conflict simply by shifting alliances in real time.
Right, right. But I think it is important to note for you listening that this raw bluntness isn't a lack of sophistication. When you map out their reasoning, they are actually building incredibly strict logical frameworks.
Yeah, like if you look at the Paredes corpus, that one tracked how bilingual children learn language. There is a great transcript of a 6-year-old ESL student explaining her worldview, and it is fascinating.
Oh, I saw that one. She argues that a T-Rex isn't scary because it only eats fish, not people.
Exactly. And she outlines her whole life plan. She's going to work at McDonald's to buy fruit and then become a doctor. At 6, it feels like their worldview is often incredibly fragmented, just picking up random pieces of adult life.
Well, actually, I would push back on that a bit. I would argue it is not fragmented at all. I mean, it is highly systematic.
Systematic how?
Well, they are taking the few rules they do know, like needing a job to buy food or that doctors require training, and applying them ruthlessly. They aren't just mimicking adults, they are constructing complex rule systems based on the available data.
Right, I see what you mean. That systematic application is exactly what shifts as they get older, though. The underlying logic stays constant, but the vocabulary morphs into something entirely different.
Which brings us to today's playground. Think back to the slang you used as a kid. It was probably just slightly twisted adult words. But if we simulate a modern conversation between two kids on the blacktop today, it sounds like algorithm-driven code.
It really does. Like, say a kid trips over their shoelaces and drops their lunch. Their peer doesn't just laugh anymore.
No, they literally look at them and say, minus 500 Aura Points.
It is wild. They are quantifying social status. It is taking Twitch stream mechanics and just applying them to real life.
Exactly. Or if a classmate is just staring blankly at the wall, they are dismissed as an NPC, a non-playable character.
And if a friend snags a French fry off your plate, it is not stealing, they're just collecting the phantom tax.
Right, the phantom tax. And my favorite, if a teacher walks up and asks what they're up to, a kid might just do a juggling hand gesture and say 6-7 to dodge the question entirely.
Yeah, we have to look at how this sociologically functions. Reducing social standing to minus 500 aura removes the messy emotional labor of traditional conflict resolution.
Ah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it turns interpersonal dynamics into an objective, game-like metric. By using terms born from internet culture, they create a closed ecosystem. It acts as a highly exclusive language barrier that keeps adults out and puts the kids entirely in control of the social rulebook.
So whether they are demanding M&Ms for hot tub access or deducting Aura Points, children's conversations are highly structured, complex social negotiations.
And the environment for those negotiations is shifting rapidly. Researchers using the Ohio Child Speech Corpus are now studying kids interacting with interactive social robots like Jibo.
Wait, so the children are actually practicing their social skills on AI?
Exactly. They are conversing with machines as conversational partners.
Wow. Well, if the sandbox is already functioning like a high-stakes boardroom, it makes you wonder what happens to the negotiations when half the board is run by algorithms.
It really could change everything.
When the next generation's playground peers are machines, the way they learn to communicate might rewrite the rulebook entirely. Definitely something for you to mull over next time you hear kids chatting.